On and running?
Yeah.
Okay. We will start in just a couple of minutes, so meanwhile, read the text, see if you have any questions about words.
How to translate this one? See, th, lowes. It's actually no translation in Russian. It's somewhat.
Which one? Where is it?
Fifth line. That loses no locket and locket.
Which loses neither locks. Th is same as s, or singular.
Escape.
Escape? What do you think escape means?
Maybe escape?
Yes. If you're in prison, you can escape. Not.
Why he used this th?
Ah, why? Because it's very beautiful. When you use th instead of s, it means you're using archaic English. Archaic. Old form. Yeah. And it's same as any language, in Russian, in English, in any language. When you use an archaic form, it's more poetic, it's more beautiful, it's unusual. Yeah. So if you use th instead of s, it means you're being poetic. So if you want to be poetic and impress your teacher, then just do this. Replace s with th. Hello. Any more strange words here?
Not.
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 Like not. Nothing.
Would you tell, please, am I correct in thinking that season is here like experience? So
No, like
it's
harvest. Harvest, have, experience.
like seasoned traveler. That's not a
Yes.
very frequent form, but still.
So it's a very, very strange poem, but also, apart from being strange in itself, it has lots of strange words, so feel free to ask me about it.
Okay, what about perish?
Perish is very easy. What's perish?
Paris. Huh?
Perish? Die, vanish, disappear.
Коза. And my delight is Koza.
What is Kozer?
Yes.
It's very easy. It's really, really easy. Of course you know what Kozer is.
Because
No? What is ER? Okay, boil, boiler. Case, caser. The case of. Anything else?
Strife.
What is strife? Oh! A fight.
Season, season as a verb.
Yeah, just like we said, it's like when you, what did we say?
To experience something.
Yeah,
Experience.
like a harvest, experience, have. Hello? Hello! Nice
All
trousers.
the world I
Thank
see.
I have experienced all
I have
things in
nothing,
the
but
world.
at the same time I have all the world to myself. Hello. Ghostly sounds from another reality. They have something very brainy going on there. They have mics. Okay, I guess it's time to start our little slow reading project. And
One
let's-
more word. I escape. No wise.
yeah, again, it's very easy. What is escape?
Escape.
That's what I
Escape.
wanted.
Escape.
Escape.
Yeah, that's easy. So most of it is really easy if you just read it. You don't think too much about it, you just read it. Okay? So this would be our last closing session here this season. But who knows? So let's enjoy it. So Sir Thomas Wyatt, and do you know this guy? No, just recently, not a long time ago, we had another poem by this guy, which was No Limited.
I recall this name.
So let's him again. And now it's a very strange poem. It's less famous than No Limitangere. It's called I Find No Peace. Do you find any peace?
For the most part.
Do you find peace? Are you peaceful, calm and happy? Okay, then
More
let's
or
read
less.
it.
Sometimes.
So when are we saying this? I find no peace. What situation can it be?
I'm worried, I'm restless, I'm in trouble.
Sad.
Sad?
I'm uneasy, probably.
Okay, so let's read it all together, because it is a strange poem on many levels, on meaning, on words, on everything. Let's read it. I find no peace, and all my war is done. I fear and hope, I burn and freeze like ice. I fly above the wind, yet can I not arise. And naught I have, and all the world I season, that loseth nor locketh, holdeth me in prison, and holdeth me not, yet can I escape no wise, nor letteth me live, nor die at my device, and yet of death it giveth me occasion. Without eyne I see, without tongue I plain. I desire to perish, and yet I ask help. I love another, and thus I hate myself. I feed me in sorrow, and laugh in all my pain. Likewise displeaseth me both life and death, and my delight is cause of this strife. Oh, that's complicated. If you think your life is complicated, then you just take this poem and read it again. So can you tell me what's going on here, basically? Some more.
It doesn't seem that it's about the war. It's more about the struggle of one person.
Yeah, it's a kind of a war, an internal war. What's a conflict?
A broken heart, probably.
Yay! Broken heart. Where is broken heart? Not exactly a broken heart. Probably.
Mental uneasiness.
Okay, suppose you wrote this poem. When do you feel like this? Like in this poem?
Maybe it's about freedom.
Maybe freedom? Any more ideas?
He doesn't feel free.
Yes, he doesn't feel free because
He has some duty.
yes.
Out there.
What
It's
duty?
about-
What duty?
I don't know, maybe.
Of course we do know. We just read it. It says very plainly in the text.
Do you mean
You don't need to
I
read it
love
too
another and
slow.
thus I hate myself?
Why do I hate myself? Do you hate yourself?
No.
Uh-huh. Why?
Because he
Maybe
loves
he is
another.
Yeah, now say it more loudly.
He loves another.
He loves another! Hooray! Phew! Case solved. Closed. Okay. So, what is his problem? Can you explain? Why is it such a problem to love another? I love myself. No problem. I love another. Oh no! What's the problem?
Because this another doesn't love him back.
Okay, what does it mean? I love another. Another
Strange.
who?
Another person.
Oh.
Or he's probably in a relationship already, and he loves another person, and he knows that his duty originally is to be with the initial person,
Yeah.
for example, his wife, but he loves another person, like another woman, and probably there is an internal conflict inside him, so that's why he's struggling with himself.
Yeah, so on the very surface it's like another Beatles song. Another girl, yeah? Okay, so again, there are always lots of ways of reading it, and the most easy, obvious way to see it is, yeah, I have a girlfriend, a wife, but now I love another one. And that's my problem, because I know I have my duty. It's not like, that's just another wife, who cares? I have my duty, but at the same time I have my feelings. So it's feelings against duty. And if you're, say, Chinese, then you're in a big problem, in trouble. If you're British, apparently you're in trouble too. Okay, suppose you love another, how do you feel? A normal average person today has a wife, has a husband, and suddenly falls in love with someone else. How do they feel normally? Terrible?
uneasy.
Uneasy?
Complicated.
Yeah, complicated.
Confused.
Oh, very much confused.
Fearful.
Uh-huh.
Fearful of getting, well, someone will know about his passion for other person.
And he doesn't even know if that is worth to abandon a wife, or maybe it will be in vain.
Yes.
But he's not sure.
So all in all, we feel like something's wrong if you already have a relationship and then you find out that it was the wrong person all the way. Yeah.
And you feel bad betraying your wife.
Okay. Now what happens here? What happens here? Do we know anything about this subject of his love?
No.
His first love, his second love, anything?
No.
Nothing at all. It's just one little phrase in the middle of a line. It's not even a whole line. So it's not a big deal in itself, but what is the big deal in this poem?
He loves another and he hates himself and finds no peace.
Yeah, this what happens inwardly is what's important. Because on surface, it's really very simple. It's like a very simple device, if you like. You push the button, you get the result. It's not interesting, but you push the button and then you look into this device and see what happens to get this result. That's interesting, yeah. So what he does, he opens this box of emotions and looks inside. It's really confusing. it doesn't make much sense because it's all contradictory. It's all very beautiful and nice and interesting to look at. Because do we normally like to do it? Like open the box of our confusion and look at it and say, ah, how beautiful.
We rarely do it.
So something confusing, sad, terrible happens and we feel like this. Do we like opening the box and actually going into it and looking at it?
Oh, normally we're trying to close it
Uh-huh.
and not to look at it
Uh-huh.
because it's normal. Because every person do it. They're afraid to look at this box because they think that they won't like.
I won't like it one little bit.
It's not pleasant.
Why is it not pleasant? It's all about our mindset, you know. It's all about the way we perceive ourselves, the way we see how reality works around us. Something is not compatible in this box with the normal reality.
Because it complicates our normal reality.
And it's
It
not.
confuses our minds
Uh-huh.
and make us feel troubled all the way. So such a box should bear a big load.
Uh-huh.
But it insists, if I may so, on being open.
Uh-huh.
Yes, from the inside. He can't just leave it closed and yes.
Stay there, no!
So
You hold it.
they feel independent.
Uh-huh.
Just like it would be something hot in it.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
And waiting to be opened and looked inside.
Yeah. So we like when everything around us is simple, logical, in order, something we can frame, understand,
And classify.
But if we open this box with these emotions and you can't control it, apparently in this case, it's something that you can't reason. It's like, no, it's all contradictory. It's yes and no, it's cold and hot at the same time.
Uncomprehensible.
Yeah, I can't have it in my normal reality. In my reality, if it's hot, it's hot. If it's cold, it's cold. It can't be hot and cold at the same time. So we try not to look at it. He opens it. Now, what do you know about the Brits, the British people?
Nothing.
What's
very
the-
reticent.
They all die.
By nature.
They all die. Good. What about their character? What do people say about the British character?
They are so.
They have very stiff upper lip. They are reticent and they are not prone to expose their feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if
They
you're
are-
English, then you don't like showing your feelings. You feel a lot, like any normal person. You don't like to show it. Do you know, it's a very beautiful image. I really love it. I really love it because it really does reflect our mentality. Do you know the typical English house? What's a typical English house? It's like,
What about it?
what about it? What you have is, you have a row of houses side to side. You just see the face of the house, yeah, face. Well, usually it's like narrow to, and then behind it you have backyard. And you can only see this backyard if you actually go through the house and get inside. You can't see it from the street. When you walk past, when you walk by, all you see is the more or less similar faces.
Fortress.
It's not a fortress. It's like on the surface, it's all very small, restricted, similar, nice. But behind it, here in the backyard, there can be anything at all. Can be a garden. It's back there somewhere. Yeah, can be a garden. Can be anything at all. You'll never know. So I think it's a beautiful reflection of English mentality. Well, if you look at the person, you don't see much. But what's inside on this backyard? Anything at all. Crazy. So people don't like looking here. It's like it's not for anyone's eyes. It's just mine. So what he does here is very interesting because he actually looks at it.
It's very interesting that he doesn't try to run away, but go deep and try to understand the nature of his feelings.
Yeah, because the subject is very silly, if you like. It's nothing big. It's just I love someone else problem. So what's the normal reaction? What's his reaction? Is this? Look into it and write a beautiful poem. Yeah. Okay, and again, it's like for everyone to see. Oh no, it's like he's running around naked. He's running around naked. He talks about his feelings. He shows his feelings. Yeah. And then people really say, and I feel like this too. But no, I'll never tell anyone. I'll just read the poem and pretend it was Sir Thomas Wyatt who said it. Yeah. Okay. Now let's look. The structure itself is interesting. Before we touch the poem itself, the structure is very interesting. What can you tell me about the technical side of this poem?
14 lines.
Yeah, what is 14 lines?
Sonnet.
A sonnet. Yeah, it's a very strange sonnet. And what else do we notice about it?
It is based on oppositions.
Yes, lots of oppositions. What about rhyming? What about rhyming? Let's see, because it's interesting too. Done.
Yes.
Does it rhyme with anything?
No.
No. Then eyes, that would be eyes,
Rise.
rise, season, prison, wise, that's be again. Wise, devise, occasion. Occasion could be like prison, or like visual rhyme. Maybe. Play. Done and occasion. No, it's like season, prison,
No,
occasion.
No
Occasion.
rhyme at all.
Done doesn't rhyme, yeah. It's very strange.
And occasion.
This is
And where is occasion?
occasion is like a season and prison.
Occasion.
The
No,
eyes
no, no.
arise, wise,
Occasion.
devise.
The
And
strong
then
syllables.
season, prison, occasion. It could be a visual rhyme when you write it the same way. Yeah?
Visual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
visual.
write it
On,
visual.
on, S, O, N,
Maybe
S,
not
O,
an
N, S, I, O,
ideal
N.
coincidence.
Because it doesn't rhyme with
It's not
anything
a coincidence at all.
as such. So C here,
It's
it
separate.
kind of visual rhyme. Kind of. Or maybe you can read it as a rhyme. Prison, occasion, occasion, prison, occasion.
Occasion.
Yeah. Then that's the end of the first part, basically.
Yes.
Then we have play,
D.
A, B, C, D. Playing, help myself,
Yes.
E, pain, playing, D. Death, health, I guess, E, and strife. And strife doesn't rhyme. You can't even say it's a
Yes.
visual rhyme because it doesn't rhyme at all.
Right.
So we have the first line, which does not rhyme with anything. And we have the last line, which does not rhyme with anything. Do you think it's a coincidence? What is it? We have a middle rhyme, which is a strange rhyme, which kind of
Good
rhymes,
voice.
kind of doesn't really.
It's a good voice.
Yes, why do we use it? Why do we need it?
Let others think. Let them guess.
Okay, we know that the first line, the last line are the PowerPoints of any piece of art. poem, a story, how you begin it is how you hook attention, how you end is what you leave your reader with.
And frame.
Yeah, and frame. So how is it that we have the first line not rhyming, the last line not rhyming?
Maybe it is just like a title.
Maybe.
Title
Don't
to,
strive.
To one part of the poem.
So inside, as you can see, it's like BBC, BBC. It's all weaving together, interweaving. It's not a separate BBC, DD. It comes back. It's like a little rope, an ornament. It all comes together here. And here too, DEE, DE. It all gets fixed. It comes back to the where you started. Yeah.
Did he really think about it when he wrote this?
You may not think about consciously. If you're a master, it doesn't matter of what art. If you have enough experience, then you don't really, I guess, you don't really think about it because you already have your experience. Your experience thinks for you. Your feeling, which guides you in art, things feels for you. Maybe you think about it, maybe you don't think about it, but if you write it and you feel like, that sounds right, that feels right, means it is your intent as you live it this way. And of course, if you have the first line, the last line not rhyming, not something just random in the middle, it's very important. So I guess it reflects his state. What is his state? If we just look at the rhyming, what is his state? On one hand, his thoughts are going in circles, coming back to the same subject from this direction, that direction. Like here, B, B, then C, then B again, then C again, then D, then E, then D again, E again. And coming back. But at the same time, it's not finished. It's not organized, it's chaotic. Because you start with chaos. Not rhyming is chaos.
Yes, no peace. That is why it is like some activity, military activity again. Because rhyming means harmony, and there these lines give us the feeling of disharmony.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you feel happy and peaceful, how come your lines don't rhyme? Exactly. And we finish with confusion too. So that's his state of being keen on something and confused. Okay. So that's only rhyming. It's you don't even talk about the text itself. You look at the rhyming. That's what we see. Very interesting. Okay. Now, what else is interesting here? Again, like we said, positions. He even breaks the line in the middle. So all his poem is basically broken in two. More or less every line is two parts. We even have a dot here, a comma here, things here, breaking the line visually, or it's like you have a bit of silence in the middle. So it's a visible or audible border. Now, what is this border? Why do we need it in the poem?
It's also like a boundary of the wall.
So why do we need to put it into our poem? What's the subject?
One side and the other side, the enemy and the
Yeah, the enemy and the friend, or me.
Yes, me and the enemy.
And also, what's the subject? What is it about?
He writes
Trouble.
about himself.
What's his trouble? What's his trouble? Come on, you know the answer.
He loves another.
He loves another! Great! It means he has his, let's say, wife. Okay, that's his wife. She's not very happy because she suspects something. And he has this new girl who doesn't suspect anything, maybe. Maybe she does. So his whole world is now in two parts. And his mind is in two parts. And his poem is in two parts. Where is he? He's confused. He doesn't know where to go. So both sides are equally attracting and repelling. So what happens if you have two equal forces on the object?
So it basically tears him apart, these two women.
Yeah, so if you have two forces similar, then, well, physics says that the object stays at rest, but we know it's not true. It's more like he is torn apart, like you said. Oops. Sorry, Newton. Didn't mean to contradict you.
Maybe the last line is heavy enough to explain everything said about.
Yeah, and interesting, we start with no peace and war and we end with strife. So again, it's important point, and that stresses out his feelings and his state. He's not at peace, he's still fighting himself. Okay.
But he writes that his war is done. It means that he already made decision.
It means he's lost it, apparently. It's like, what can I do?
Yes.
What can I do? He can't fight it, but he can't do anything. So let's have a look. So we have, I find no peace. No, and it's all very negative. Just look at it. He has all those no things all through the poem. Again, what kind of a feeling does it create? If you have lots of no through the poem.
He's not accepting himself like a healthy and peaceful person. That's why he's denying his temporary state.
I find no peace, and all my war is done. So, peace and war. It doesn't matter if he says no peace, because again, what we hear is what we feel, imagine. We say peace, we feel peace. If we say no, it doesn't alter the fact that we feel, see peace. So, peace and war. Find no peace, all my war is done. So if you say that, it's something very big, very basic. Yeah? So you start that first line. You start by showing the main forces, peace and war. Yeah, so they're very basic, very basic. I fear and hope.
And he,
so
there are
hope
four.
and fear.
Yes.
Why is it? How can he hope and fear? If you love another, how can you hope and fear?
So there is one more side. There is an extra.
Yes. So he
Like a
hopes.
triangle.
He hopes for what?
He hopes that his dreams will come true, but at the same time, once they come true, that delight, which is basis of all the poem, which we find in the end, it will gone.
Yeah, he will need to face the
And I really
consequences.
think that it is really important that the author derives pleasure, derives delight from his state.
So, is it normal for us to fear when we hope, or to hope when we fear? To feel fear and hope at the same time? I think yes, very often.
Yes, he has a fear of this maybe new life, but he hopes that everything will be alright.
No, because we're talking about different objects, so why not?
No, it's the same. It's his inner feelings. Yeah.
His inner feelings towards
something
towards
comes true.
true.
It's the same. Hope and fear for the same thing.
Hope is in the future,
you
fear
mean
is in the past,
mean
but it
his
is not in the
state.
now.
You think so?
Yes.
I think it's all about the same situation.
Yes,
Very
situation is
often we
the
hope
moment.
that something comes true, but at the same time we fear it. Like we said, because it's new, because it's strange. Yeah?
Fear that his love become not mutual.
Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe that she will, if maybe she doesn't know about it yet, and he's like, do I go to this girl and say that I actually love her? What does she say? Terrible moment. So anyway, peace and war, it's big. Hope and fear is a bit smaller, more personal. Now, interesting. I burn and freeze like ice. Burn and freeze like ice. Burn like ice and freeze like ice. You know, if you touch something really cold, like cold water, it feels for a second like it's burning you.
Yes.
Yeah? But it's really cold. So he is hot and cold at the same time, and it's not a contradiction. Yeah? And again, that's something very specific, something that we can feel. Hope and fear, a bit abstract maybe, but I feel hot and cold is something we understand. Yeah, something that is easy to imagine. Like ice, and ice is interesting, because what do we know about ice? What's the traditional image of ice when we talk about emotions?
It's
It's not
extreme
liquid.
state of freezing.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn to ice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's firm, it's not liquid.
Mm-hmm.
And if we compare a human with ice, it means he is stone cold.
Mm-hmm. Means that he has no emotions.
No,
Doesn't
he is
feel anything
unmovable.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he has no heart.
Mm-hmm. 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 So he says, I have so much emotion that I sort of burn down. It's too much to handle, so it appears like I have none because it's too much for me. Maybe.
Isn't it strange that he compares himself with ice, but he feels a lot?
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of emotions, different, but ice doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, and also ice sounds like ice,
This.
to which we look. Burn and freeze like ice. Yeah, so it's really strange. Maybe he's afraid of his emotions. So like ice. And then again, ice is something heavy. Ice is heavy. And next line is, I fly above the wind, yet can I not arise? So it's like fly and not arise. Cannot arise. Yeah. So now we go down heavy, feeling low, like ice, heavy. Now we come back. I feel no ground. I feel no ground. I fly like above the wind. Yet can I not arise? How is it? Emotionally.
Still he flies or doesn't he fly?
Mhm. So on one hand, he feels very light, maybe light in his head with his new love. On the same time, can I not arise? I can't decide, I can't come to her. And I feel heavy. What do you think? Do you think it's true? So again, above the wind, yet can I not arise? And as we read it, we experience all of that. Yeah? Fear and hope, burn and freeze, and they come just one after another, again, 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 again. So that's what we keep experiencing, from one extreme to another, from one to another, very quickly. What does it do to us as we go through it?
His emotions are not under his control.
Mhm.
He is like a leaf from the
Mhm,
tree,
mhm.
is thrown here, there.
Yes.
And his feelings are controversial. From one hand, it is good, love, and he will light and lies about the wind. On the other hand, there are some responsibilities in love, in life. It's not so simple.
Okay.
Maybe this love will bring in more pain than happiness.
Yeah, we don't know. Then again, it doesn't have to be about love as such. It can be about many things. In this case, it's about love. Okay, not I have, and all the world I season. So I have not I have, and all the world. So again, wind. When you say wind, it gives you the sense of movement and space. And we play with space now. So it's like a game of associations from peace and war connected with fear and hope. Fear and hope like emotions, and you burn and freeze. I think, freeze like ice. Then ice is connected with wind in this case, not with fire, wind. Wind. Wind is space. Now space, let's play with space. Nothing and everything. Yeah.
And the wind gives me an image of speed. So things
Yes.
are changing very
Rapidly.
rapidly from one state to another.
What does season mean in this context?
A season like experience, like a harvest, if you like. Have.
Just have.
Have. Again, it's interesting to say season, but not just because it rhymes with prison.
It's temporary. It's
Mhm.
changing.
Yeah, and as in seasons.
Yeah.
Seasons are something
Like a
that goes
circle.
in circles again. Now it's cold, now it's hot, now it's windy, now it's something else. Yeah. Not I have. All those beautiful negations. I have not. Do you have not? I
What
do.
does it mean not?
Not, like nothing.
Zero. Zero.
Not I have. All world I season. So again, we shrink to nothingness, then expand to all thingness, if you will. I season. That loseth nor locketh, holdeth me in prison. Funny. Now we have something external, which is again contradictory.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's something that doesn't make me lose, doesn't let
He
me
is
go.
soft to himself. He's
Yeah.
gentle to himself.
Very. It doesn't let me go, it doesn't hold me, it doesn't lock me, but it holds me in prison, but it doesn't hold me in prison, but I can't escape anyway. It's like, make up your mind, guy. Seriously. So it's something hold in prison, not hold, so prison and freedom. Prison, free.
Maybe vice versa.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, free
Free.
or in prison.
Mhm.
What is this prison? So again, we play with space, nothing, all the world. Now, prison, limited, and freedom. He's really fun because he says it's something that doesn't let me go, but at the same time it doesn't lock me. Locking, what is locking?
You
Confined
need an
something
organ
or
to
something.
kill. It is close to
Mhm.
the very hard.
So it's like an artificial limitation,
Yes.
something that's
From the
imposed on
outside,
you.
yes. From the
From
outside.
outside. Holdeth me in prison! Oh, I'm so unfortunate. What is this prison?
He created it himself, and he locked himself.
No, these are the restrictions of the marriage and his.
So what is this prison?
Morality.
Is it his first woman or is it the other? Another.
Both.
Both. Uh-huh.
It feels like it's referred to the fact that he's not able to decide, to make up his mind, and not to represent the characteristics of
one of the moments.
Yeah. Or maybe it's another Beatles song. What is it? Chains, my baby's got me locked in chains. Chains of love that you can see. Or something like that.
A lot of popular songs are about that.
Oh,
Stuff.
I know. Like I say, it's like maybe it's a Beatles song really, but we just say it's from the 16th century. But really, it's the Beatles went back
But
to the
the
16th century.
the origin of their songs are
Very
far,
deep.
very deep.
Yeah, I mean they're really clever guys. Okay, so we have this idea of freedom now. Space leads to restriction of space, freedom and not freedom. Yeah, Loseth, locketh, holdeth. Again, it's very funny how he plays with words, putting all these loseth, locketh, holdeth. It's like again his mind is jumping, just jumping. Holdeth me in prison, and holdeth me not. Not. It holds me, it doesn't hold me at the same time. Yet can I escape no wise. That's nice. And nothing holds me. It holds me, but it doesn't really hold me, but I can't escape anyway. What does it mean? What does it mean?
He can make a decision and move on.
He doesn't want to be foolish. He's
Mhm.
not wise.
That's what holds him.
Yeah, what is this no wise? Can I escape no wise? Because when you read it, it's like anyway, in any case, like otherwise. Yeah,
Yeah.
wise like direction. Yeah, but also wise is like wisdom.
Both.
So no wise. I'm too stupid to escape, or maybe I'm too clever
I
to
should not
escape.
have done it.
How can you escape a prison which you made yourself? That's a good question. Because if somebody else puts you in prison, you can always find a way out, no problem. But if you make this prison, and you haven't really decided whether you're supposed to be in or out, then every time you find yourself a door, you yourself cancel it.
But I think that to make out how this prison, you have to look at this box. You know talking about. So
Yeah.
he's trying to get out of this prison, looking at this box.
What's the prison? The prison of marriage, emotion, love, two other go. Duty versus feeling. What's this prison? Do you feel like you're in prison?
Mental prison.
Yeah, well, what sort of mental prison? Because it's easy to say mental prison. It's very abstract. What's going on with him?
He
Maybe
doesn't move.
maybe he feels himself alternately in prison, and the next moment he feels himself free. And then again he's in prison because of some contradiction, I don't know. And it exhausts him. He feels emotionally tired.
Yeah. So what we have in this reality of this poem, we have, first of all, we have feelings, lots of feelings, war and peace, like states. Then we have ice, we have wind, we have down, we have up. We have something static, ice, we have something moving, wind. Yeah? Then we have nothing and all the world, a big world. Then in this world, we put something, what is it? A prison. It's a very nice word. Where you only have one prison.
Maybe a very delightful prison.
Maybe.
Maybe he's looking for punishment, and that's why he put himself in the prison.
Yeah, maybe. He's like, I'm doing something wrong, I need to punish myself. That's what we very often do. And it's a very strange prison again, because nothing really holds him there, and yet he can't escape from there. And nor letteth me leave, nor die at my device. So, doesn't let me leave, doesn't let me die. So leave, die. Now it's interesting. So he is somewhere in between on this line. He's not here, he's not there. He kind of wobbles between the two sides. And maybe it's not a big deal for us whether you hope or fear, whether you burn or freeze. Maybe it's not very important, but to wobble between life and death is a bit more serious. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Do you think it's more serious?
It's very serious.
So
Does
here
it
we start.
Does it mean don't let me live?
Mhm.
The idea, nor let it me live.
Nor
If we
die
say in
my
other
advice.
words,
Mhm.
if we say in other words, it means don't let me live or die. Not
Yeah,
die.
by my wish, as I
Uh-huh.
wish.
At my-
As my
at my
device
device.
means how I will.
Letteth.
Let's.
It means let's.
Yeah, TH is same as
Yeah, I
S.
understand.
It's like a poetical form. If you want to impress your friends, you just say TH instead of S for singular words in present simple. Yeah, let's me live nor die at my device. Does it remind you of any other place? Some place which you can't escape, where you can neither live nor die? Do you know such places?
Yes, there are such places in your mind.
Okay.
Somewhere.
So he is suspended between life and death, war and peace, and he can't gravitate to
Yes, and
any
he-
of
You
this.
drew the boundary.
Yeah, he's on this boundary. He wobbles between the two. So where is he? It's a beautiful
Limbo.
place in between. Beautiful. Neither here nor there.
Silence, pause.
It looks like the world stopped
Mhm.
for him.
Time stop.
Mhm.
Everything stopped. He can't leave. He can more live, and the worse he can die.
Mhm.
And things are not depending on him anymore.
Mhm. Mhm. So nor let it me live nor die at my device. So we like to think that we have control over our life. You say, well, if it really goes very bad, then at least I can always die the way I like. I said, no, not really. Not this time. Yeah? You do what I say. So our life and death is something we think we have control of, but we don't. And he reminds us about it here. Yeah? And yet of death it giveth me occasion. Happy, happy poem.
Yes, this is the not rhyming line, and this is the punch line for
Yeah.
the first part.
Yeah, that's a punchline. It's not quite rhyming. It's sort of rhyming. Not really.
It's the conclusion.
Yeah, it's the end of the first part. And the first part ends up a bit pessimistically.
Yes.
Well, it's not like I can't really live, I can't really die, but I'm rather dead than alive. Okay. Yet of death it gives me occasion. Now part 2. Without eyne I see, without tongue I plain. So that's another, another.
Game that is in words.
Ein is beautiful,
Yes.
of course.
Eyes,
Ein. Ein
please.
is, yeah. Ein, I don't really, I haven't looked into the dictionary, but my guess is that it's the Old English form, because it sounds like Old English to me. Ein is something you would
Maybe
use
he
in Old
invented
English.
it himself.
Maybe he invented it.
No,
I-
that's the word. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Such word exists.
I
So
think,
he sees
maybe
something
it's just
without
old
looking.
plural form
Yes,
for eyes.
this is something
Eye.
without eyes. That is why without time, not without eyes, it would be very clear, but here we have mystery.
Yes. How can you see
Ein.
without your eye?
I'm
Ein. Without eye, I see. What can he see without his eye?
plain, it's he starts to understand himself with
Mhm.
using plain.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So we have lots of stories in folklore. In
His sixth feelings.
sixth feeling, yeah. When you talk about blind people, it means their vision is turned inward, or that they can see something that we can't see with normal eyes. So without eye, I see. Maybe I can feel it in my heart. Without tongue, I plain.
Play? Right?
Flame. Play.
Plain.
It's
Yeah,
like a
plain is a
game.
good word.
Yes.
So it sounds like play,
Yes.
game. It
And
sounds like
playing.
explain,
Yes.
making plain,
Plain,
flat.
yes, and
Plain
then-
is like flat, plate, plain.
Express
Dreams.
himself.
Yeah, but to plain means to say, oh, I'm so miserable.
Complain maybe.
Complain,
Complain. Yeah.
complain. The short for complain. But again, he says plain and not complain. It gives you more meanings, more associations, more. So.
But referring to what he said, had said before, he's confused and nothing is clear.
Mhm.
And here we read that he sees everything is on time and
Yes,
expresses
but it's very funny because usually when you say, I see without eyes, it's like, oh, I have a great insight. I'm a prophet. Like, what do you do with your great insight? You complain! Seriously. You complain. Without tongue. Again, it's funny, how can he complain without his tongue? Especially as what he does is he writes a poem. So he's a very
He's writing it in this way.
yeah, he's a very strange
Hide
guy
his,
here.
hide his confusion, hide his. It could be clear, but he doesn't want to.
So he's a funny guy who has no eye and no tongue. Very strange, very funny. His eye and tongue belong to the no reality. So what he can see and he can say comes not from this reality, but from the no reality. Yeah, because he has no eye, no tongue, without eye, without tongue. I desire to perish, and yet I ask help. How lovely. I want to die, I want to disappear. I want never to be living. Yeah? No, never been born. At the same time, I want to be healthy.
and live forever.
And live forever. Do you have such feelings?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. Because on one hand, we can feel, oh, I'm so miserable, unhappy, nobody loves me. It's the best if I
want to
just
die.
perish. I want to die.
But I love my life.
I love my life. I love ice cream. I'm not going to die because I love ice cream.
And struggles are better than death.
I ask help. Again, it's funny because I not ask long life. I ask health. It's like I feel like I'm going to perish because of my sickness.
So he requires help because he.
I need help.
He's tired of suffering.
So he needs help to overcome this trouble.
It's a little bit selfish.
Of course, it's selfish. It's all selfish. It's super extra selfish.
Die because we can't make a decision. It's very strange.
Is it? It's not strange.
It's always like that. Why is it strange? You haven't experienced just that's it.
I desire to perish.
I wish you
and
never.
ask
You
help.
never did it. I wish you never
So
did
who
it.
is he talking to? I desire to perish, yet I ask help. Who can give him help?
Some divinity, God.
Maybe God. Maybe his love. Maybe his wife. I desire to perish. So his desire, strong feeling to this new love. Yet I ask help. He's asking, not demanding, asking politely, nicely, maybe. Help. I love another. That's why. Now I see. I love another. Who is another?
We do not know.
We don't know.
It's a big question. God, wife, man.
It doesn't matter who and she.
Yeah. And other. Someone from the other side. Maybe other side of his marriage, maybe other side of our reality. Who knows?
So it can be not the girl.
Yeah.
Maybe not
doesn't
the
have to
girl,
be
it
a
may be the
boy.
idea. It may be the mystery.
It may be an
His
other.
dream.
Maybe it is not about human.
Mhm.
So he loves another part of his marriage.
Okay.
What is another
So
part?
it's very interesting.
Gonna be, what is the other part of the
I
marriage?
love another. I love another.
Thought about
Maybe. We talk about like marriage and the lover, although he has not a single word explaining. It's just what we say based on our experience, expectations. Maybe what we see as a marriage here, what we mean really is something established.
And where is marriage?
He doesn't say about marriage.
No,
He just
no,
says,
no.
I love another. We say marriage because that's our expectation.
Yes.
Yeah? It doesn't have to be so. What we really mean by saying marriage, because we don't have other words for it. We need something
When
to
you love,
describe
when
it.
you express, when you
Yeah.
use the word love.
Yeah, maybe when we say marriage, what we mean something established, fixed, already in place, and other is other side, not established, not fixed. It can be, I don't know, an example. You have your normal life. Suddenly you want to become a monk and go
Yes.
to the
That's
monastery. That's also an other.
And it is also confusion, it is
Also, yeah. Mhm.
Well,
So it can be many explanation, many ways of seeing it.
anticipation.
Could it be a political idea because he was a politician and ambassador during the 16th century?
I think it's political.
It doesn't seem political.
Okay, I love another country. I want to move to Philippines.
It's still about
Let's
other,
think about
it's
that.
still about
Let's
other
think
woman. He would not have suffered from all these emotions.
Boundaries
Oh, why not?
between
why
countries.
not?
It's not
Because-
about
I
countries.
love another work. I have
It's
one
not about
job.
occupation.
I love it. Suddenly I understood that all my life I wanted to
And
be
you,
a baker.
and you fear and hope you burn and freeze like
Yes,
ice
yeah.
because of some object.
Yeah, because
No,
of
I
some
don't think so.
object.
It may be only woman.
A
Human.
woman is an object
Human.
too. In
Human.
this case.
Human and more exactly a woman.
It doesn't
If
really
he's
matter.
Thomas, maybe yes.
It doesn't really matter. A woman is an object like a cake in this case.
You think so?
I mean, it's love which is important. Love for
Because the
who,
life.
Yeah,
for
sure.
what is another question. He doesn't say anything about
The
it.
subject is
don't know.
his emotions.
His emotions,
Of
yes.
course.
I mean, how many times does he say I in this poem?
Oh.
In 14 lines. Okay, let's count.
30.
Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 me.
9, 13, 14. 14 times. 14 lines, 14
Okay,
lines.
14 lines.
No, more than
More
that.
than 14, really. So you say, how many times he says I? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
More than
9,
once in
10,
every- in every-
15,
every
11,
line.
12, 13,
15.
14, 15, 15. Plus he says me.
Me.
He says 1, 2,
And my.
And my
1, 2, me
3,
and mine.
4,
Me, my.
5, 6,
How many
7,
times?
8, and 10 maybe.
10.
Yeah, yes.
Me and mine, 10.
Yes.
Really. And he says, wow, surprise, secret. He says I, s. And I, n.
I.
Which is also saying I.
Mhm.
in disguise. Because when you say I or I, basically you say I and nothing else. 2 times 2, so that is 27. 27 for 14 lines. Of course it's super selfish. Of course it's super selfish. Not a single you, he, she, no. Me, I, me, I. And in this case, you can do it because you look at yourself. You look inside, and when you look inside,
It may be
Well, what
another
else can you
side
say?
of himself, because there goes the line, I feed me in sorrow and love me. Maybe it's also,
oh yeah, I
All
love
about his
another, thus I
personality.
hate myself.
yes.
So I love, so I hate myself. Beautiful. How can it be? What kind of love is it? Forbidden,
Self-destroying.
self-destructive.
What's kind of interesting here is that there is no an opposition in this line.
I love, so I hate.
So yeah.
Love, hate.
And thus I think, yes, it is just,
That's
he is
conclusion.
united,
Yeah.
his joy is there.
He thinks that his love is sinful.
Yeah. So it's not a peaceful, cosmic, happy love, because if it's a happy, cosmic love, then you don't hate anyone, even yourself.
Why do you think so? It's not obvious.
It's not obvious, but if it's a true love which comes from inside, it feels the whole being.
But that love in cosmic, which is cosmic, is not true.
Why is it not? Of course it's true. Do you believe in cosmic love?
But
Do you
it is
believe in
not.
cosmic love? Nobody.
There is no-
nobody believes in cosmic love.
You're the one who knows.
Okay, who doesn't believe in cosmic love? People. Really, what is love anyway?
His illusion.
Love is
Chemistry.
illusion.
Love
Because
is
we have
more
like
than-
love like passion and love like a big love, which is different, I guess. I love another because I hate myself. So if you hate yourself, your wife, your life, your neighbors because they look at you when you love this person, then it means it's not real love.
As I made out, maybe it means something similar to altruistic or selflessness.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
common sense.
Would like to suggest that we might think about love as an extreme case of empathy.
Yeah.
And maybe this love
In which case his love is really hate.
maybe it's not really love because it's something unhealthy. Maybe it's just a passion, self-destroying passion.
Yeah, because-
Maybe she betrayed somebody's love, so that's why I hate herself.
Yeah, maybe he hates himself not only because he already has a wife or something, but maybe because this girl belongs to some other man too.
Yes,
We
it's
don't
also
know the
possible.
details. He just says, I love another, so I hate myself. I do something wrong. I know I must not do it. So there's this big inner conflict, which they really love showing you in Chinese movies. You have duty, you have feelings, and they start fighting, and you stand there, yeah, go for it, yeah, yeah, and see who's winning.
Writing this poem to those for that,
Yeah.
for that cosmic love.
So that's a very strange love, which makes him hate himself. I feed me in sorrow, which is maybe that's a way of laughing at yourself. Oh, I feed me in sorrow is a bit dramatic, isn't it? Maybe he's he's exaggerating it, laughing at himself, like, oh, look at me, I feel so sorry for myself. Haha. I feed me in sorrow, like I'm eating my sorrow. And that's what we do. Very often, like, oh, I'm so unhappy. Nobody loves me.
More cakes and others.
Yeah.
But it makes his sorrow disappear because when you're eating it, it disappears.
Yeah, why it disappears.
And then
Maybe
you laugh in
because
all in
he
pain.
looks at it. And laugh in all my
Consequences.
pain.
Overfed.
Because it's very funny.
He's full.
It's funny. It's funny.
It's funny to itch your sorrow
Yeah, it's funny to
for us.
to have a bit of a distance and to look at yourself from a bit of a distance, which he does here. Right in the poem is looking from a distance,
But
basically.
maybe the love is not mutual because I love, but we don't know
Mhm.
if the person
Yeah.
loves.
She may not
But it is
even
not
know
said
that he
here.
loves her.
It's not
It-
felt even.
hmm So all we know is that this feeling makes him feel guilty, makes him feel like something's wrong. I hate myself, I want to die because I love another. Maybe it's like Romeo and Juliet. I love somebody from another clan. I'm not supposed to love her. She's not from my family.
Forbidden love.
Feed me in sorrow, laugh in all my pain. What sort of laugh is it?
Hysteric.
Yeah. So again, we don't know, but it can be hysterical laughter, or when you laugh to release your pain.
Or is it a fake love?
Maybe it's fake laughter, or maybe it's a real laughter. Maybe since it's the end of the poem, you have done all this work at looking at yourself, analyzing your feelings, and now you can see how it's all not as serious as you believed. Maybe. Now you can laugh
He's
at it.
kind of resuming his feelings, laughing at himself.
Like bitter, he's bitter.
Yeah, maybe bitter laugh.
Bitter love, yeah.
Again, how we read it is who we are. How can you read it is what you can feel. If you can feel it as a bitter laugh, then that's what you have inside. If you can read it as laughing at your own idiocy, then that's what you have inside you. Because he doesn't give us many details.
Maybe he's wondering how he got in such a state of mind.
And again,
It's unexpected for him.
when we read it, we experience all of that. It's this roller coaster,
Yes.
burn and freeze, now I cry, now I laugh. It's all extreme feelings, extreme emotions. So that's why, although it's a very small poem, it's very strong. It's quite strong. Love in all my pain. No. Likewise. So we had can I escape no wise. Now likewise, wise again. Likewise, displeaseth me both life and death. Ah. Interesting. What's going on here? Likewise, displeaseth me both life and death. So again, remember, it's the end of the poem after all this work you have done, after all your analysis. Displeases me both life and death. So we had life and death before. I can't live or die at my will. It doesn't depend on me anymore. And now he says life and death displease me both.
It's depression.
Because he's afraid of death as any normal human, and he stopped enjoying his life.
So maybe that's because he's in between. So he can't go to life, he can't go to death. He says, I don't go because I don't like it.
The first part, the ending, was about occasion
Of death.
And here the line is about both life and death, so it is muhal. And the last line is very important because it mentions the light.
Yeah, exactly. So what I think is when he starts doing it, he just looks at what he has. We look at what we have inside. And by the end, he does his work. He has his distance. And now he can see what it really is. And he sees that it's not really something very horrible. But again, it's very funny because in all this poem we have very few positive words. It's like, oh, no, no, don't like it, die, no, 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 can't. I love another. And again, this blizzard made of life and death. So the th ending, apart from sounding nice and archaic, is very good for expressing your negative emotions. Because you say, likewise, this blizzard made of life and death. Yeah. That's how you're supposed to say it. Horrible. This blizzard. It's not like I like love. I like life. I like death. That's all nice. No, I don't like anything. I love another, but I don't like anything. I hate myself. I hate life. I hate death. Where am I?
That style would not cause delight and would not cause purification.
I think that his main problem is not love or duty, but depression. That's all.
Maybe his main problem is that he's too selfish to love someone another.
Maybe. So likewise is a nice word because like love, like wise, like wisdom, and like direction.
But now you read his poem and you see, you can think about your selfishness too.
Yeah, because really that's what we are supposed to do. And not have Sir Wyatt do it for us, but take a piece of paper. It can be a homework. You have all summer for it. You take a piece of paper and you feel like, oh, I feel miserable, but at the same time I have a nice hat, so I'm happy. Yeah. If you do it, I mean, if you really properly do it, I think you would feel a lot better.
It seems to me it looks like hatred with his words to his current position.
So he's like, oh, I'm miserable, I don't like anything. She doesn't love me, I love her, but I have a stupid wife or something. And my delight. Again, I love another, so I hate myself! My delight, light like we said, my delight is cause of all this strife. Yeah, again, a light and strife. But strife is not a very strong word.
Not very strong.
Strife is not like something like what
like
is
war,
strife like? War.
Battle, it's not battle, it's not war.
It's just
not
strife. But again, it's like civil strife.
Disarming.
Okay. So it's very interesting and something to look at. The way it's done, this rhyming and how it works, the breaking the lines, how it works. Yeah. And what he says is really important because that's what's going on inside everyone, I suppose, or most people. Yeah. Okay, anything else we can say here?
It can be described, I love to hate myself.
Yes, you mentioned twice. Hatred, hate, but here it is said much more. It is rich emotions and you cannot just make the prison for yourself using this word, hate and hatred.
Yeah,
you shouldn't do that.
What we have here, this image, is something dark, heavy, bad, horrible, with war and. But inside this, we have these sparkles. I love another delight, my delight. Still, he has his delight lighting up his space.
Even the title, I find. So
no
he's
peace.
looking. He's looking.
He's looking. What he
But
finds?
notice.
Yeah, he
But
finds
he finds
peace, but
the
it's
end.
no peace.
Yes.
Again, a negative here. On one hand,
Both,
it's
yes.
nice because we have the word peace. On another hand, again, it's negative. Right? And again, I find no peace. Interesting. Maybe he looks for it through the poem. In the end, he finds it. It's a peace, but it's from the other side. It's no peace. There's some strange sort of peace. Who knows? Anything else we can say here?
Do you know, is it about the lyric hero or it's about this exact writer?
Whatever you write is
It's
about
for you
you.
to explore. But it's he's writing about himself, his emotions.
Always,
or
whatever
just,
you
or
write,
just
even
some-
if you write about little pink hedgehogs on a magic tree, it's about you. Whatever you write is about you. Whatever you say is about you. Whatever you see.
Because it is not the description, it is the expression of the inner world, the inner world.
So if you
state.
can describe it, if you can put it into words in an effective way, and it is effective because we read it and we are impressed by it, I hope. Do we feel anything when we read it? Are we impressed by it? We feel, interesting,
Excited.
strange, stupid.
Yes, it
The
is
storm
exciting.
of feelings.
Yeah.
The storm
So
of
if you
feelings.
can feel it when you read it, it means that whoever wrote it could feel it too. Because if you don't feel it, you just write in like the guesswork, then you can't do it.
And even the curiosity is born.
Okay.
Wonder
It's
and
not
curiosity.
just fantasizing.
No, you can't just fantasize your emotions. I mean, if you
Emotions
just
are real.
fantasize emotions and you try to describe them, then how can you do it? Nobody believes you. Because we can feel what is true, what is not true, because we all feel the same. We know what it's like.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
Hooray! Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Now, one more announcement before we leave. And that is, I have a little project for June, somewhere I think in the middle, some weekend, maybe 15th or next weekend, is to have a little open air meeting somewhere in the park, the weather allowing. So, so far it's a project, but if you go to Contacti, Shakeyburns, or Facebook, Shakeyburns, you will see the announcements there somewhere, sometime in the first, second week in June. So keep an eye on Contacti, Facebook, Shakeyburns, slow reading. Again, here is where you have all news, updates, links, interesting information, so that you can use to contact me or share your ideas. So Shakeyburns, you know, shaky like Shakespeare and birds like Robbie Birds.
Do they close it here?
And no, it will not be connected with the American Center. It will be just like a meeting in a park because it's summertime and the living
Yeah.
is easy.
In which part?
The park, I'm not sure yet. Maybe Kolominsky. Kolominsky is a nice park. They have a very beautiful little lake with trees near it.
Yes.
So maybe there.
Romantic place.
It's a very nice place. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. As long as we have somebody coming. So nice to see you. Have good
It's a big
summer.
holiday, Streltsy.
So the
Holidays.
ANC will not.
We will not announce it because it will
Will
not
not
be
announce
connected
it.
with it. Yeah. So I'll be away for a little trip in the beginning of June for the first week. Then I'll be back. Then I'll go again in the end of June, and in between we'll have these 2 weeks in between when we can have our open air. And maybe then in August. We'll see. That's too early to speak of. But
Let it be
just
bold.
so that you know, keep an eye on our groups. Please join it. Oh, nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the meeting. I